Hello, this is Wico, and I'm starting this demo of how to create a script. I'm going to go through a bunch of things with the script, starting out pretty basic. You should know C# before you start this. Look for the links for how to start C# or C#. This first one I'm going to start doing is aligning to gravity. Here I have a small base, and I have a simple ship that just has atmospheric thrusters, quite a few in each direction. It also has a couple gyros. It does have a remote control and antenna, so we can find it from other places. And it has also a cockpit. So I'm going to get in the cockpit and look through the screen, my character's eyes, and we can see the horizon line right in the center of the screen. And let me disconnect. And what the gravity alignment's going to do is not let us turn like this or like this. It wants to keep the ship aligned with the horizon line so that we're aligned to gravity. And that's important for ships that have just enough thrust in the down direction, but sideways, if they were to tip sideways, they don't have enough thrust. So let's see if we turn sideways. This ship can actually stay, but many ships could not. This is a pretty small ship, and it's actually only got two in there working really hard. If we had anything more on this, it would not be upright. We'd be falling, and that's bad, generally speaking. So there's a battery. I did put a camera on the front and underneath, and we'll be using those later, but you can use the down camera to help you dock. And it's pretty damned ugly, but there we are. That's my ships. So let's go and dock, and we'll start on the script. I've already typed a pivot out. Too much thrust. P to dock. P is bad. Alright, so I've increased the size here. You can hold Control and mouse arrow to increase or decrease the size. I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can read everything. But this is the default. Let me make it smaller so we can just quickly fit everything in. There's a program, a save, and a main. Those are the main parts. The only thing that's really required is the main. And there's a bunch of comments here. You should go through these when you're experimenting on your own. I'm going to get rid of all these. And I've got stuff I have already typed to put in here. And let me go through this at the top. So first, I'm creating a list of the ship controllers. These are the things like cockpits and remote controls. And that's an empty list to start. I'm also getting a list of the gyros, the gyroscopes. And that's an empty list to start. In program, which is the constructor, which is called when the program is compiled or recompiled. So it's only called once. I'm calling the grid terminal system, which has a list of everything that's available in the grid terminal system. There's the menu you pull up when you hit K. And I'm getting blocks of the type I'm a ship controller into the list my ship controllers, which I initialized up here. And notice conveniently Visual Studio's highlighting the things when I click on things. The next line, call grid terminal system to get blocks of type, the gyroscopes, and the list is, and I'm going to put that into the list, my gyros. The function save is called optionally when the world is saved, or when you recompile, it'll call save on the old code that's currently in the PB. We don't need to do anything right now. And then main. Main is called when the script is run. It's going to have an argument and where the source came from. We're going to ignore those for now. First start, we're going to just output what for each ship controller that's in the list. We're going to echo, which means display on the detailed info on the program block, the name ship controller, and then the name of that ship controller. And if there's more than one, we're going to go through this loop multiple times. Then we're going to go through the gyro list, and for each gyro that we find in that list, we're going to echo the word gyro equals and the name of the gyro. So to get this code, I'm going to go Tools, MDK, Deploy All Scripts, and this will compile and we can copy to clipboard. I'm going to go back to the game, and I have to, oh, it worked. Okay, so now I'm in the game. There we are. And I'm still in the cockpit here. And I can hit K, and I can look at the programmable block, can edit the code, and I can say paste. And here's the code that we compiled. I can say OK, and now it's there. If I hit run, it'll do. Execute the code in the main. And it's showing ship controller's cockpit and the remote control, the gyro 1, gyro 2. So here's gyro 1, gyro 2. Here's the cockpit, and down here's the remote control. So here's the info. Now another way we can get that code, if we don't want to hit the copy, is we can go to Edit, Browse Scripts, we can type the name. So here's the code that MDK put in our location for us so we can find it. This is useful if you don't copy the code right away from the information, or if you want to do it later for different ones. And we can say copy to editor, and then OK. And now that code is also there. So that's another way to get the code if you didn't hit the copy on the Visual Studio when it flipped. Let me take off here. This is the terminal menu right here. This is where the grid terminal system gets its name. Let me show all of it. There's a whole bunch of thrusters, one battery, a couple cameras, cockpit, a connector on the bottom, 2 gyroscopes, 2 landing gears on the bottom, a programmable block, a spotlight, a remote control, and a spotlight. There are a couple spotlights, I'm sorry. And you can see all those here, and I've got the spotlights off because, you know, they're annoying, but you can turn them on. I got 2 on the bottom and 2 forward, just in case it ever turns into nighttime here. But what we're getting right now is just the gyroscopes behind this, and this cockpit, and the remote control, because these are ship controllers. So again, if we look at the program block, I'm going to hit run, so it runs the main again, and it outputs the information with the echo. Ship controller's cockpit, ship controller equals remote control, gyro, gyroscope 1, gyro, gyroscope 2. It's going through these. So let's go back to the code. So we can see it got those into the list here. And then when I run, it's running this main. And then it's going through the list here for each ship controller in the list. Echo display on the detailed info in the bottom right of the PB. Ship controller equals ship controller.custom name. That's the name that shows in the user interface. And the same thing for the gyros. So that's the first simple program. So let's stop here, and I'm going to go on and add more things.